I says to her, I says, if that's my thermometer, where's my pen? What's up, pal?
I'm good. I'm sitting or trying to sit comfy on the couch. I'm trying different areas of the place out.
With your not so subtle awesomeness above your head.
Oh, you mean that?
Oh, that old thing.
Yeah, there's an even more awesome one right above it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me see if I can show you without messing up my whole system.
Oh, dude.
That is my Indian guides from the father and son program I did with Tyler. When you are chief of the nation and you're going out, they usually present you with a plaque. Um, they didn't present me with a plaque; they presented me. And I've always said there would never be another belt that would go higher on the wall than my WWF WWE Tag Team title until I got that belt. That one,
That's amazing. You've told me that before.
yeah, that one goes on top.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You had a busy week.
It was a fun week. Yeah. So
You were busy molding the future of our business.
I was busy helping. I was helping guiding, coaching.
Guiding.
Guiding's a good way to put it because I'm not one of those that goes there and says, "Oh, you should do it this way. You should do it that way. You should do it that way." I'm more that, hey, why don't you try this? Try this instead of that. If it doesn't work, and I tell everybody all the time, I'm like, one of the things I learned early on in my career was listen to everybody, let it boggle around in the brain. Whatever works, you keep. Whatever you don't think works for you, you shit it out and get rid of it. So, and I tell them that when I'm up there with the NXT guys and at the Performance Center, I tell them the same thing. I'm like, listen, you try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You don't use it.
Yeah.
But if it works, then just try it and see what happens.
Chancellor, I've always had a question about that. When you go down to the PC, we all know that there's a WWE way to do things. Do they sit you like? Do you have to take like a crash course and just to say, hey, this is how we want certain things done? Or you having been in the company for so long, you got a Legends contract, you're in the record books as a champion. Is it just inherently already ingrained in you? You know what they want to see.
Well, the style has definitely changed a lot, and
How
then
so?
and then there's the the style you see on the main roster with Raw and SmackDown is a little bit different than we're doing at NXT. Shawn Michaels at NXT and Matt want it to be go 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 go, like just
Really?
so if you watch it, it's different because NXT everyone's just motion nonstop.
Fast paced.
And then you get the guys on the main roster, not all of them, because you still have Cody and Roman and CM Punk and John Cena that will slow it down because they're telling more of their actions are more storytelling than match entertainment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the guys there are depending on, you're getting 7 to 8, 9 minutes to go and tell a quick little story in a match. Now they do want every match to tell a story. And, there's certain little things that Shawn and Matt, especially Matt, I think more on the selling side focuses on. And when I say the selling side, I mean like, okay, you're working my arm. All of a sudden I can't start firing up with my arm. Like I can throw a punch and go, like keep selling the arm.
Yeah.
Part. And so it's different things like that. And then I think the I don't know if it's the hardest part, but a lot of those kids are coming straight out of college. They don't have a wrestling background. They haven't been on the indies. A lot of them never really watched it. So it's not just teaching them moves, it's teaching them the psychology. It's teaching them of when to do things, when not to do things, when it makes sense, when it doesn't make sense. So there's a lot of different aspects to it that I love. And then I'm still learning stuff. I was helping with a match for Evolve on Friday, and I was working a tag team match, and they were doing a couple of things, and some of them, I don't know how this is going to sound, because they don't know, you got to explain to them almost everything, which I love. And they were heels. And I said to them, how do I know you're a heel? And they're like, Well, by my actions. I go, okay, but what are your actions telling me? All you're doing is moves. Heels get over and they get the sympathy for the babyface. How? By cheating. That's
without having to do a single move.
that's how they get over. The story of wrestling is you have a baby face, you have a heel. The baby face outshines the heel. The heel gets frustrated and he cheats, and
Yep.
that's how he gets his heat, and then that's how ultimately, especially in a tag match, the baby face gets sympathy for that hot tag.
Yep.
Uh, to get the big pop and whatever. So it was funny. They were working through the match, and there's a couple of things because there's new rules of of things of who can do what and when and different things like that. And one of the things I said, like he's down, just grab him by the throat and start choking the shit out of him when he's on the mat. And the ref comes over to me. He's like, "Yeah, coach, we can't do that." And I'm like, "What do you mean you can't choke?" He goes, "No, you can choke." He goes, "But if he's down on the mat like that," he goes, "we're not allowed to do that anymore. It's an instant disqualification." And I was like,
What?
"Coach, you don't even get a 5 count." He's like, "No, there's certain things like that they don't want."
When was this implemented?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I'm still learning while I'm there of certain things they can do and can't do. And this Evolve TV taping for me was different because I've always, every time I've been up there with Carino, and then, but they had live shows in South Carolina this past weekend. They did a loop Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Nice.
And so I was there doing a TV taping. So usually, if I had questions, I had Carino I could go to, and I would ask, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? So I had to go to different people, but yeah, it's fun. What I love about it is I don't sit there and help them put the match together. I don't sit there and go, okay, why don't you do this now? Why don't you do this now? I say to them because they'll come to me. There's a storyline with each match, and I get that in the production meeting, and I go over the storyline. Hey, here's what they're looking for.
Mhm.
Go figure it out. And then they'll come to me and they'll go, "Hey, we think we figured it out." I'm like, "Okay." So then they'll walk me through it, what they plan on doing in the match, and then I sit there and I help them with the details. So
Okay.
for me, it's details make the difference on if you're here or if you're here.
Yeah.
Big difference with the details. So I help them with the details of, okay, well, pause here, go here, like slow down. Here's where like you guys can go 100 miles an hour, but at some point you have to stop for
Yes.
a second or two for take that beat so the crowd recognizes what's going on. It lets both you to make sure you're both on the same page, and then boom, go move forward. But
Let it register.
yes, because if you're going 100-mile-an-hour the whole time, the crowd's just sitting there, and
You
then
can't digest it. Yeah.
digest it, and you can't give the announcers, the commentators, a chance to
Yeah.
see.
What a great point. A lot of guys don't even realize that because they're not used to working with A, commentators, or B, commentators that are good at what they're doing. But yeah, if you're rushing through everything, the commentator is going to sound like an auctioneer at a cattle auction off.
Well, the other side of it too is, and I talked to actually this is probably the first time I brought it up since it was my 5th time up there, and I brought it up to a few different people of what story are you trying to get across. Like you're trying to get not just a story to match across, but you're new, so you're trying to get your character across. So
Yeah.
not all of your moves and your emotions and what you do in a ring is going to tell the story of who you are. I go, how else do you do that? And they all just stared at me. I said, it's simple. Commentary.
Yes.
Go over to Rob Strauss, or Robert Stone, whatever the hell they're calling him.
Mhm.
And I say, go over to them and go, hey, this is the story of our match. I'm doing this for this reason. I'm doing this for that reason. And this is why I'm doing it. I said, the more they talk about you, the more people pay attention to a match.
Yes.
I said, if you're watching a match and they're talking about next week's pay-per-view or next week's main event, or they're talking about something that happened 3 weeks ago, or they're talking about a different storyline, you're not getting over. I said, for us, I said, when the Headbangers signed our first deal with WWE, a part-time deal, our first match we had as the Headbangers under contract, it could not have been any better. If you go back and look it up, it was us versus Aldo Montoya and the Pug.
Porto.
Do you know who was doing commentary?
Oh no.
Jim Cornette.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect. It's his gimmick. He knows the gimmick. He got us over the first couple of matches because he was doing commentary. But I said to him, I said, even moving on down the road when we got, main roster, we're on Raw, we went over and we would talk to JR and we would talk to Lawler and go, hey, here's what we're doing. And this is why. Can you get this over and get that? Yes, they want that because that's how you're going to get over. Without it, you get over at all. You need that.
Yeah. Any commentator, because I see this a lot on the NEC now. Comment, don't tell me how to do my job. Any commentator that turns away input from the actual talent is living in a delusional world.
Right.
That's priceless.
And the other side of it is, I'm not telling you your job. I'm helping.
I'm helping you.
Because now you have something to talk about. And I want you talking about me. I don't want you talking about everyone else. I want you talking about me. Because, and I said that to him. I go, you go back, I said, and watch a show or go just watch Monday Night Raw. If they're not talking about the match and they're talking about something over here, do you zone out? Yes or no?
Yes.
So
yeah,
stuff like that. And what I really love about it is there's so many people there, guys and girls. And the ones that really get it or they want to know. And when you talk to them, like when I help them like that, they just see that click.
The light comes on.
Yes. And then like they're putting the match together. And I'm like, listen, if you did it this way instead of that way, the way you're doing it, just try it out and see how it feels when you guys are, walking through the match and working on it. And then they come back after the match and they're so jacked up and excited. And they're like, oh my God, you're so right.
Yeah.
We had him here. And then all of a sudden he came here, but then wham, they went way back up here. And I was like, little details, like I got goosebumps. Like it's those little things like that I love helping with. Because for the most part, anybody can put a match together. It's moves. But it's moves when you do it, the emotion, because you got to get the emotion out of the crowd. If you're not getting emotion out of the people, you're wasting your time.
Yeah, I think you and I have discussed this, Chaz, and you would be able to attest to this better than anybody because you've been around. You can literally train a chimpanzee to do tackle, drop down, hip toss, arm drag. You can that is a physical, but you can't teach the chimpanzee to do the in between stuff, to cast a disparaging look to the crowd when the heel does something good and they boo, to get a beauty shot when the babyface does something. That's the hard stuff.
Right. Yeah, and then knowing when to do it to let production know.
Yes.
Part of it I love also is sitting on headset and telling the cameras, because they do the walkthroughs of like the heat spots and finishes and I don't think I'm not revealing anything that hasn't been on Unreal.
No.
You're on headset doing that, and I love it. Like we did a spot where I needed everyone to kind of just stop in the ring. And when I say everyone, I mean the ref, all the wrestlers, and we brought the crowd down to a dead silence.
Oh,
dead silence. And when the kids were practicing it and they were going over it, they wanted to rush it. And I was like, no. I'm like, this is when you pause. And when I say pause, if it seems like you're going way too long, go longer.
Yeah.
And then as I was talking to him, I realized I was like, because we were working through, it was a heat spot with the ref, and we were kind of working through it with him to make sure everyone knew kind of what to do and stuff like that. And then it dawned on me. I looked at the ref. I go, I can talk to you on headset. He's like, yeah. And I go, I said, perfect. None of you will do anything until I tell him to go. And
that's amazing.
I literally sat there with the button out. I'm like, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I'm like, ask for medical. Ask for medical. I go, tell them to calm down. Tell them to calm down. Tell them to calm down. Nope, not yet. Not yet. And it was like, you could hear a pin drop in there. And I'm like, all right. I go, do you hear how quiet the crowd is? And he's like, yeah. I go, tell them to go. And when they went, it was like, bam, boom. The place was like, oh, like, holy shit. And then the rest of the match, the fans were up here. The entire rest of the match, they were up here. Like, they were so into it. And those guys came back, all 5 of them. I say 5 because including the ref, was just like, holy shit. Like, that was amazing. Like, the crowd. And then the other producers and like higher up than me who were sitting on headset, they were like, Chaz, the way you called that and the way you were like, they were like, that was amazing. You were like, the way you were talking to them, and it was the biggest part that I feel I have to get better at with going up there is the producing part, not helping with the matches, but I was uncomfortable on headset because you got to be like, okay, go.
Oh,
Comes this, like, you're kind of telling the truck, hey, keep an eye on. I'm just going to throw names out there. Keep an eye on Glenn right here. Have the camera on Glenn. Keep it on him. Okay, so here, this is going to happen. Here, we're getting ready to go into the heat. Here comes the heat spot. Remember, it's right after the leapfrog. Here comes the heat spot. And then, okay, now pan out a little bit because remember, here comes the dive over the top rope. So that's the stuff you're doing on headset during the match.
and
like,
that's the stuff that you don't feel comfortable, 100% comfortable doing?
I wasn't because I'd never done it before.
Oh.
And the couple of times I did it, like I had Crino shadowing me. And one time Corey Weston was with me. And like, but I sit on what I do now when I go is I grab an extra set, the headset, I grab an extra, and I sit there at Gorilla watching, and I'm listening. Like now I'm listening to Terry Taylor. I listen to Johnny Moss, and I sit there and I'm listening to what they're doing and how they're doing it, and then listening to everyone and taking it and making it me.
Carino of these last tapings?
Carino was at NXT, but he wasn't at Evolve.
Oh,
he was on the house shows.
Now, Chaz, how do you feel about this new? Because you touched on it earlier, and it's a big point of contention, especially with a lot of the quote unquote old guard. How they're getting more and further away from hiring guys that have been on the indies, guys and girls that grew up being fans, guys that are already trained and have been exposed, in favor of athletes that have outstanding super skills and bodies that they can mold and don't have the bad habits.
You can say superpowers because some of them I think have them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes. But so they don't have the bad habits that an established indie guy would, but they also, in my opinion, don't have the same passion. Now, I'm sure that can be developed. There are certain things that you don't discover till later in life that you get just as passionate about as you do the stuff you've loved since you were a child. But with wrestling, like, I feel like there's a different level of dedication to this. If you love it in your heart and your soul from when you were little, as opposed to, this is a way I can make a buck.
Yeah, I mean, I see. So there's two sides to this, and I see both sides. The kids coming out of college, they're just so athletic. They're used to, from being in collegiate sports, they're used to that daily grind. So to come to the PC, get whatever the contract is. I don't know if it's all the same.
Wait, real quick, Jess, how long is it before they get a contract?
I don't know. I honestly don't know the ins and outs of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know there's like they have the WWE ID program, which is the indie. That's a certain thing. Then they have the guys that are there that are under contract. I don't know if that's all the same. I don't know if it's different. I don't know. I just know everyone there training when they're in the ring, they're under some kind of contract.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I know because they just had a tryout at SummerSlam this past SummerSlam in Jersey,
and a big ass turnout too, huh?
Oh, huge. Yes, huge. So this is going to sound not so great, and I don't mean it the way it's going to sound, but when they bring the indie guys in, athleticism wise and go wise, they're not the same as the PC guys, the PC people. And the only reason for that is the PC people are there every day. And the
Oh,
coming in kind of trying to fit in. But at the same time, if you watch Evolve, the top faction in Evolve is all indie people. The Evolve men's champion, indie guy. The Evolve women's champion, indie gal. So
there is merit.
it's just a matter of, yeah, it's both sides. And what I think's cool about it is, obviously the PC people, talent, they're there every day, so they know each other. But when they bring the ID guys in, and they only bring the ID guys in on the week that they do the Evolve taping, and it's not even all week. They get there like on Wednesday, they train with everyone on Thursday, and then they do the taping on Friday, and then they're gone. So they're
What?
not there all the time. Yes.
Why is that, Chaz?
They're indie guys. They're there to come and kind of mingle in, get on Evolve, and try to figure out a spot to get a spot in NXT. Get a
Damn.
full-time deal. That's the idea of it.
So it's almost like they get treated like a redheaded stepchild. Like,
oh, not at all. Not at all. No.
really? I mean, but it gives off that vibe. But
no, they're brought in. They're taken care of. The hotel's covered, travel's covered when they come there. They're getting paid money to do the indie shows. Now, granted, they still book all their own indie shows and still do all their own stuff that way. But now they're getting money from WWE also compensate stuff. And my point of saying all that is when they do come in, they jump into these classes. The PC talent treats them as if they're there every day.
So they do.
Oh, they jump right in. They do the same drills. They do the same everything. And the PC people, I keep saying people because I don't want to keep saying guys because there's girls there also.
Yeah.
But the PC talent brings them in as if they're there every day. They all work together for the same goal. So they're not treated like redheaded stepchildren.
Okay.
They're not treated. They're just two different programs. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Obviously, that's not what we do here. I'm not gonna name any names, but I work for FIP, Full Impact Pro, and they have a WWID program thing coming in. I've heard unflattering things. Like, this is just guys. This is the problem with bringing in indie guys, that they have not only bad habits in the ring, but they think, I've been doing this for X amount of years. Why don't I have my due? Why don't I have a contract? Why am I not on TV? Like, forgetting the age-old adage that the wrestling business doesn't owe you a thing. Nothing at all.
Yeah. I don't know who that is, who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And again, I'm only going off of what I know and what I see when I'm there. And I can tell you this, some of the indie guys, when it comes to performing in the ring and the psychology wise, know more than the PC guys. But
really,
PC guys, athleticism wise, I'll say it straight up. If I had to compete against the PC talent to get a job for a tryout to get in to that program, I don't think I would have made it.
Wow.
The tryout's tough. It's not easy. And these kids, the athleticism of them is just, I don't think, I've done a lot of stuff in this business. But athleticism wise, I don't think I could keep up with half of them, to be honest with you. Even back in when I was, I don't know, even in my mid-20s, early 30s, I don't think I could have kept up with them.
That's a big statement, sir.
They are that athletic. It's ridiculous what I see some of them doing as practices. Yeah. And they're sponges. Pick everything up. They pick everything up like that. And they want to learn. And they're so respectful of everything and anything. It's an amazing culture to have there. Matt has built an amazing thing with amazing culture there. And I'm just glad I get to go up every now and then and help out.
That's my 100. That's my favorite part.
I 100% love it. And if something more comes of it eventually one day, awesome. If it doesn't, and I just keep doing this, awesome. So I know, we spoke about him and I spoke before and then this past week about, coming up to at least keep helping with Evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Just help me get better, producing wise and stuff like that. And, they tape it once a month. So if I just keep doing that, then I'm perfectly fine with it. I love being involved. It's amazing.
But Chazzer, you would be more prone to take the job doing what you're doing now as opposed to being an agent on the main roster, right?
I think it's kind of the same. Um,
Working with the younger talent versus working with the established talent.
oh, that part. I don't know. I don't know.
I've always been interested to find out which you would prefer.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. I do find myself working with the females a little bit more than the guys. For some reason, and I don't know if it's because like Johnny Moss primarily works with the females. Carino primarily works with the tag teams, and I don't know if it's that's.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Steve primarily works with the tag teams. They're constantly switching classes up. Like this week when I was there, when I went up a few weeks ago, and they were just doing like all new classes, like all the new kids. They take the kids, and they move them all around, trying to figure out okay who needs what, who needs because each coach has their their little thing that they do. So yeah,
They do it just to break up the monotony.
yeah. So I mean, it's like anything else. If you do the same thing with the same people every day, you're not going to change.
You become stagnant.
Same coach, you're not going to do the same thing. Now, so what they'll do is they'll take the kids and they figure out okay who needs to work on what, and okay maybe they need to go with Norman Smiley, maybe they need to go with Terry Taylor for this reason, or Fit for this reason, or Carino for this reason. And then they do lucha class, so maybe needed to go there, or they need to work on holds or more amateur stuff, so they'll send them with AJ. So it just depends on what the coaches feel they need, and then they mix them up. And there's a couple of classes that are just primarily the females, and then there's a couple of classes where it's the males and the females mixed together.
I'm shocked that they don't have you specifically placed with the tag teams. Being that
It depends because Steve and hold on, come here, come on. I have
an Amber.
Yeah, she come on.
Amber.
She can't hear you.
Oh.
I got a headset on.
give her a headset.
Yeah.
Put Amber on commentary.
See her down here.
Aw.
Amber.
Hi.
She in the hotel Friday night jumped off the bed and crash landed, and her right leg now just hangs like this.
What?
Yeah, so I'm milking that. So I took her. Now I'm all crooked. Go this way. So I took her to the vet today, and they took X-rays, and there's nothing broken. Her ACL's tight, so it's not her ACL. So, but she has, because of age, because she's almost 12, she has arthritis, and she got like arthritis in her vertebrae in her back. She got arthritis in her hip, and it was like her one hip that she didn't hurt was like perfect, and the other one was like crooked like this.
What the? So was it a dislocation?
No, it wasn't dislocated. It was in. It was just, and it was weird. They said the weird part is usually when dogs hurt their hips, they still put weight on their leg because they try to walk on it. She's a 3-legged dog right now, and literally it just hangs like this. So when she tries to get up on the couch, she can't push off on her back legs.
Oh,
still trying to do everything she normally does. I went upstairs to my bedroom for 5 minutes last night, and I heard this cluck, 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 boom, boom. Oh, so I run down, and there she was trying to climb up the steps, and she fell down like 2 steps trying to.
Yeah. What's the prognosis for improvement, Chazzer? They said she's gonna.
They gave, because she's on all kinds of medicine now with her other health issues, so they have to be careful what they give her. So they gave me some kind of pain med for her to help keep her. This will help keep her sedated. I'm like, the dog sleeps all day. She gets up to go to the bathroom and eat. Other than that, she sleeps all day or follows me around.
Man.
But they said if she's not better in 2 to 3 weeks, then I have to call and bring her back. But there's nothing. The good part is there's nothing broken. The ACL is fine. So looking at her now, she doesn't need any kind of surgery, which would be a whole different problem because they don't want to operate on her because of her age and her other health issues. So,
Well,
yeah, right, girl?
folks that are watching, drop some love for Amber in the comments here for
Yeah,
the
all the love she can get at this point.
give her some your thoughts and prayers. And Chad, speaking of thoughts and prayers, I thought of you this weekend. I mean, I think of you all the time. No, not trying to profess my undying love for you publicly. I'm still working on that hair doll. But SmackDown, big news. AJ Lee is back. Chaz, I swear I thought of you within the first 5 seconds she came through the curtain because I don't know if you remember it, it was one of, but might have been the very first topic you wanted to discuss on the air with me on the show. It was Jeff Hardy's debut in AEW, my good man. His brother is getting his absolute shit kicked in. Jeff Hardy's music hits, and Chaz, I'll let you tell our fine viewers and listeners and supporters what happened, what transpired.
Jeff Hardy, Matt's getting the shit beat out of him, and Jeff came out from losing my shit here. Jeff came out and danced. Then he went to the left side of the stage, dance. Then back to the right side of the stage, back to middle, dance, and then proceeded to walk down the ramp to make the save on his brother.
Yeah. No sense of urgency. No, let me save him first and then dance together afterwards.
Right.
So I thought of you on Friday because Monday night, Becky Lynch gets in CM Punk's face. She gives him the old slapperoo. What are you going to do? She mad dogs him in the chest. He sticks his finger in her face and says, I'm going to make you sorry you did that. They're in Chicago Friday. She does the same thing. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Punk leaves the ring. AJ's music hits, and I'm thinking, of obviously, huge pop. They're in Chicago. She's been gone for however long. She's going to knees to chest to the ring and tee off on Becky Lynch's ass.
So, first of all, it was really a surprise.
Touche. Good
I
call.
mean, CM Punk said on Monday Night Raw, "Hey, I have someone in mind.
It was the worst kept secret.
Yeah, that will whoop your ass." But anyway, she came out, huge pop. Her return had, I don't know, 120 million views or whatever in like 24 hours.
Holy cow.
So it's funny that you brought this up because I didn't think of it the way you are with her coming out and stopping and pausing while you got this whole thing going on. My thought was she's 10 years older. Now, again, I don't even know how old she is. She could be, I don't know how, let's say she's 35.
Okay.
So 10 years ago, she was 25. 10 years ago, she would skip down to the ring and do her little thing. 10 years later, are you still skipping?
Well, yeah.
Are you not evolving this kind? Or maybe, but then again, at the same time, that's her ring entrance. She'll do it. And maybe.
Yeah, but
speaking of, so just remind me of evolving things. Yeah, but now that you say that, she came down because I saw it. I didn't watch SmackDown, but it's all over the internet, so I saw it. How she comes down,
same. I just watched this clip.
Skips all the way around, gets on the apron, does
this thing with her face,
right,
sits on the ropes,
and then gets in the ring and has the confrontation. Yeah, if that's your husband, I can tell you this. Gab and I are divorced.
Yeah.
But when we were married, and to this day, if someone were to do something to me and she was there would be no skipping and getting applause first. It would be a straight bitch slap to somebody's face.
Right?
Yes.
Right? And then you guys could celebrate.
Right. Yes. Yeah, because something like that happened like 2 months ago. She ran into someone that I used to manage at Dex, and the girl was like, "Oh, is Chaz going for anger management problems? Like he's got anger issues." And Gab was like, "He ain't got no fucking anger." And she like went off on this girl, and her friend had to like pull her back and be like, "All right, let's go. Like get out of the bathroom."
That is awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't. Maybe she's going to change the ring entrance. I don't know. My problem was 10 years later, you're still skipping. Like my ring entrance is not the same as it was 10 years ago.
Tell us, for the young guys watching, how have you evolved the Mosh character like that? Because that's fascinating as hell to me.
I don't know if it's so much evolved. I mean, the ring entrance is just different. Like we used to come out running and spitting and screaming, and it's more
Methodical.
Yeah, methodical, more reserved now. I think the fans kind of evolved it more into anything because we turned into, we are who we are, and if you don't like who we are, we don't really care. We're going to do what we want because we're not hurting anybody. We wear earrings because we can. We have face paint because we can. I wear a skirt because I can. I'm not hurting anybody. So that part of it evolved.
Yeah.
So the fans kind of evolved that for us, but I don't know. I had the same feeling now that you say that about the Jeff and Matt thing. I kind of feel the same way. Like she should have hit the ring, but now I'm thinking like when I was watching, I'm like, how long is she going to take to get there?
Yes.
you're 10 years older. You haven't been there, and I get the nostalgia part of her entrance, but at the same time, get to the ring and slap this bitch like you ultimately ended up doing after you licked your hand anyway.
Yeah. And then the other thing is Becky Lynch, who claims to be the greatest female wrestler of all time, is in the ring, over the top, overselling the fear of, oh my God, here's this person who has 10 years of ring rust. So Becky's overselling the fear. She has a weapon. She's holding the women's intercontinental title and she throws it down to sell fear. Like what? The
So,
second AJ Lee got in the ring, I would have at least said, "Hey, duck this. I'm gonna swing this championship title belt at you."
or
Mhm.
is it better that, think about it, AJ was able to slap her?
Yeah.
Is that over now? We all know it's not for storyline purposes, but think about it. If you're out in a bar, we're talking realism now. All right.
Okay.
Somebody messes with you. Jenny walks up. She slaps a bitch. Is it over?
I don't.
Or AJ skips out of the ring, does her thing. She starts walking over to Becky. Becky slides out of the ring, jumps to the barrier, goes over with Seth Rollins, who's watching, and they take off. No contact.
Which do you prefer?
I think it would now, and again, I didn't think about this until literally right now. I think it would have been better if Becky bailed.
Really? So you get the payoff of the contact during the match?
The payoff comes later. There was no match. It was over.
Huh.
There was no match. It's not like there was a match right then and there. It was
Yeah.
whatever, slap, boom, and that was it. So
Because I mean, that's I didn't even think about that, Chaz. That's a good point. The fans still get their payoff that night because they got to see AJ Lee. They don't need the physical contact. This is why we pay you the big bucks.
or even here's even better. Seth Rollins was at ringside watching this, right?
Mhm.
Right. So Becky's got this look of fear in her face as AJ's coming down, and she's just standing there. That's like you. Again, we'll stick with realism. You're in a bar. You piss some guy off on the other side of the bar. You see him coming at you. What are you going to do? You're going to do one of two things: fight or flight. And if you fight, you're going to go at him. You're going to go, or you're going to be like, I'm about to get my ass kicked. I'm out of here. Where can I get escape? And you're going to try and run and get out of there. So one of two things I think now that we're talking about this out loud is Becky could have slid out and met her on the right at the entrance,
Mm-hmm.
or she could have powdered, or which I think maybe would have got even more heat is Seth came over and pulled Becky out,
Yes, I was just about to say that. Yes.
pulled her out. Then now because of that, CM Punk gets back in the ring. The two of them, there's the face off for the intergender match to come whenever it may come.
But that's genius for you to pitch because then Seth gets more heat. You know, you have AJ without the skipping enter the ring. She's fired up. Let's go. Becky Lynch, preserves the sanctity of her character of being, I'm the baddest woman. Let's go, let's go. Right before they swing, you have Seth pull her out, and then everybody wins. Yeah, that's right. But
Becky's mad at Seth for pulling her out. Like, I'm
yes.
trying to get back in. He's like, no. Like, another day, another time. We're not getting paid for this right now. Like, let's
Yeah, we don't fight for free.
Right. That whole thing. But it's funny. The skipping annoyed me. Maybe that's why it annoyed me, because there was heat. Like, but at the same time, I understand the nostalgia part.
But I mean, she could have skipped around the ring after you get the job done.
After, right? She could have came out and sprinted, slid right in,
Yes.
got his face, had the whole thing, and then had that happen, and then she could have skipped around. Because even for her to skip past CM Punk when she first got to ringside,
Yep.
almost like she knew who he was, but didn't know who he was.
But didn't want to acknowledge him, or yeah.
And then she kind of acknowledged him when she got in the ring.
Yeah.
Or the second time she passed him. But yeah.
But she was making weird faces. She was doing weird mannerisms with her face. I know we're close to the 45-minute mark, but yeah, dude, I love this. Like, this is my favorite part of being able to be your co-host on the show, is listening to you apply years of your experience as an in-ring performer, now all of your experience as a guest trainer at the PC, and putting a spin not just on a young guy or young girl coming up and saying, hey Chaz, can you critique my match, but an angle on mainstream WWE TV that could have been done differently for mass effect.
So what we just talked about the two ideas I just threw out, is what I would do at the PC. That's
amazing. That, yes.
Hey,
here.
Or how about that? Or how about that? And then the really fun part is Carino, when he's there, he gets in the ring and he was like, yeah, you should try it this way. And I go, yeah, but try it this way instead. And she's like, no, try it this. Steve and I will try to outdo each other on figuring out spots, which makes
that's fantastic.
Which makes it fun.
Chad, have you ever been in the ring with Uncle Steve?
Oh yeah, when Steve first broke in.
What?
Yes.
You got to work a scrawny, blonde-haired.
Yeah, and MCW or MEWF in Baltimore.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have two things before we go.
Okay.
It's funny because Matt Bloom will say that he's always, since I've been going up, he keeps telling me, he's like, yeah, you used to beat the shit out of me. And I'm like, Matt, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, no, he goes, you beat the shit out of me all the time. I'm like, I don't buy it. Like, I don't see it. So somebody sent me this on Instagram the other day. And literally I was walking, I had parked my car and it popped up on Instagram. I got an alert. I looked at it as I was walking into the PC, and Matt was standing there.
Whoa. Dude, you're beating the brakes off him.
I said that to, I go, you're absolutely right. He's like, yeah, look at you taking liberties. Look at that last kick you gave me.
I don't know why it never dawned on me till literally right this second. If the Headbangers were going to be a stable, he would have been perfect.
And that was Terry Taylor doing the interview.
And she slapped the taste out of his mouth, dude.
She did. Yeah, so I just thought that was funny. I wanted to share that. So before we go, there's the rumors about Chris Jericho.
Oh boy.
His contract's up at I think the end of the year. And he hasn't been on AEW TV since I think April or something. So the rumors are he's leaving, he's possibly going back to WWE. So then he was at Halloween Horror Nights and Mike Rome was there, and they posted a picture of them two together.
Wait, who was it? Jericho and who?
Mike Rome, the ring announcer for WWE. Do you know who he is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So they were at Halloween Horror Nights. I don't know if they just met up with each other or they were there. I don't know. So that the internet was buzzing about, hey, oh, look, he's hanging out with someone from WWE. God forbid you have a friend or something. So I'm going to throw it out there. So I'm going to throw out rumor a little bit more.
Uh-oh.
I saw that and I was like, oh, I should. So anyway,
what was this?
Saturday was Parents Weekend at UCF for Tyler's for school where Tyler goes to college. And so we were standing there and we were in the fraternity area. There was a whole, for the tailgating, there's a whole area for fraternities, which was ridiculous. I mean, there's 1,000 kids there. It was, you couldn't move. But I'm standing there and I'm looking over, and I look over and I'm like, God, that looks familiar. It's like, no, it's not. And then he turned around and looked, and it was like instant eye contact like this. And he goes, he's probably 20 yards away from me. And he's like, Chaz? I'm like, Chris? He's like, yeah. So his daughter, as in a sorority, she goes to UCF and she's at a sorority. So we went over and we were talking, and then it was just very, very funny how Tyler came over and I'm like, oh, this is my son, Tyler. I'm like, Tyler, this is Chris Jericho. Like, I wrestled with him, blah, 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 blah. And whatever the sorority was that his daughter's in, he had to pin on. And it just so happens that Tyler's fraternity and his daughter's sorority like do events together.
Oh, what a
yeah. So I was gonna joke and put the picture on Instagram and go, oh, look what's going on. But I guess it would be funnier if somebody else did that. Like he's
send it to me.
He's hanging out with Chaz.
Send it to me. Yeah, I'll start the rumor mill. Let's go.
I thought it was funny. I thought after I saw that other one, I was like, oh, this would be funny to do that.
I'm going to post a picture of you beating me up at Universal Studios with the rumor. Simon Says is going to WWE. Look at him. Look at him hanging out with Chad.
Hanging out as his foot.
Yeah, his foot's on my throat in Jurassic Park.
That would be great. That'd be funny.
Dude, what a great show, man. So enlightening.
Yeah.
So enlightening.
Good times. Yeah.
Now, I am going to put a bug in your ear because it's something we didn't quite get to, but it's expansive. I never got a definitive answer on what your preference is. Do you prefer to bring in super athletes versus people with a mind and exposure to the business? We'll talk about that on Monday next week because I want to get some other people's thoughts on it too. I'm going to get a poll.
Yeah, so that was going to be, my answer was going to be yes, but we'll find out more next week.
I love it. I love this show. Folks, thank you so much. Don't forget to share the wealth. Hit that share button. Let people know that Chaz and I are doing this thing every Monday at 6 o'clock. You can jump on into the comments. Send us your questions. Send us your comments. Send us your concerns. And we will catch you guys next Monday right here on the Mosh Sez show. Conversations with Mosh Sez.
Go to YouTube. You can rewatch us if you want. If you haven't seen the whole thing, go back, rewatch it. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, leave a note, leave a question, whatever you need to do.
Hell yeah. Hit that notification bell.
We'll be back.
See you guys.